Joining us now, House Border Security Caucus co-chair, he is the one and only Congressman Brian Babin. Okay, Congressman, this story out of Axios that Biden is exploding in rage at his White House aides over the border crisis. Congressman, staffers saying they don't want to tell him because he gets so angry that his rage is blocking decisions to fix the border. Don't Americans deserve better than this?
Absolutely, Liz. Great to be with you tonight, but I will just say this, it's a little too late to do the right thing now for Joe Biden. He said 3 years of neglect, dangerous, insane policies, opening our borders, or basically erasing our borders. I have zero sympathy for him. Drugs now kill 100,000 Americans a year that are coming across the drugs that are coming across the border. The child sex trade, the cartels are in charge of our border now. His border numbers have set all-time records. It's a little bit too late.
I got to get to this. We got news coming in. This Axios report, Congresswoman, Susan Rice fought with Vice President Kamala Harris for being ineffective as Biden's border czar, that Biden's border strategy was, quote, incoherent from the beginning. And Axios is quoting anonymous White House sources. They're leaking over there. They don't like what they're seeing, that Vice President Harris, quote, missed an opportunity to demonstrate her leadership. What do you think of this?
Well, she's the border czar. She went near the border one time. She's done nothing. The entire Biden administration has been AWOL on the border from the very beginning, and suddenly this is the number one issue, as we saw up in New Hampshire. It's the number one issue this year in the upcoming election. Now they're scrambling around trying to do something about it. And quite frankly, with this many people coming across, it's just a matter of time when these terrorists, criminality, people are going to attack the United States. It is incredible that they would even be thinking now and fighting amongst themselves. Again, I have zero sympathy for this administration. The border has to be done, has to be taken care of. So we know for 3 years they should have been ending catch and release, construction of the border wall, stop the parole abuse, on and on and on.
But you're saying there's a lack of leadership inside this White House on the border, because Axios is also reporting big fighting between Susan Rice and Kamala Harris, that Susan Rice is thinking that it was Vice President Harris who ruined and wrecked Susan Rice's chances of being vice president in 2020. That some of the Vice President Harris's aides mocked and made fun of Susan Rice. She was Obama's former U.S. ambassador to the UN, calling her just a staffer. And now this, the White House insiders telling Axios that these border crisis meetings under the Biden White House, they're not attended by agency chiefs or leaders. They're attended by deputies, Congressman. How do you fix the problem with that?
Leadership, exactly what you said. We have had zero leadership on the border issues. And it is 3 years of disaster. And I think the disaster is actually coming because we've lost so much of our national security and our sovereignty with this open border. As I said, number one issue in the country. Suddenly they're scrambling around. They need to take extreme ownership, to quote my son's book. But extreme ownership is not something that the Biden administration or the people around Biden actually take seriously. Now they're looking for scapegoats. The border has to be controlled. People are afraid of what's coming, and with all justification. I'm urging my family and my constituents, be ready for emergency. Have your emergency supplies, because something big could possibly happen. In fact, I think it's a matter of when, not if.
Congressman Babin of Texas, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes.